All right, good day, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of our webinar series on admission strategies for top university programs in Canada. My name is Kay. I'm very happy to be the host or one of the hosts for today's session. Today in this webinar, we are going to share some expert tips on preparing your personal statements, resumes, and digital interviews, all of which are going to be crucial components for your supplementary materials for your university applications today. Before we begin, let's actually introduce our team. So once more, my name is Kay. I've been an academic advisor as well as a college instructor for the past 8 years for multiple schools and universities across the Canada and the US. It's my great pleasure to join or be joined by my two colleagues here from BeyondLAB, Joanne Lee and David Lee. I'm going to pass it over, first of all, to Joanne.
Hi everyone, it's my pleasure to meet you. My name is Joanne, and previously I've worked as an admissions advisor at a nursing program managing over 300 students. And I've also worked at the University of Toronto as a graduate student advisor, working with master's and PhD students, helping them with the course enrollment. And I'll pass it on to David.
Hey everyone, super excited to be with you today. A little bit about me. I also worked as an admissions advisor for multiple graduate programs. I also have been working in the EdTech space for the last 5 years, and I work closely with institutions to provide them software and identify some of their weak points.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And together we are the three co-founders of BeyondLAB. Now, BeyondLAB, as you may or may not know, is a collective of academic advisors and higher education experts within the North American higher education industry. And we have over 20 years of cumulative experience among all three of our instructors that we see on the screen today. Our goal is to make university application as well as your career preparation and development something that is not only easy, but also enjoyable and something that's going to be very clear for you to go through as you go through your university and career development journey. Now on to the main agenda for today. So today we'll be going through a couple of items. First of all, we're going to start off with debunking some admissions myth that the top grade university students are the ones who get into the top schools. We are going to look a little bit into that and also challenge why that's not always the case. We're then going to move on to looking into how we can prepare your resume and activity list in a very professional way that demonstrates quality over quantity. And we're also going to have a look into how you can prepare your personal statements or personal reflections that will show who you are and demonstrate who you are to the university, bringing value to their overall community. And last but not least, we are going to have a look into how we can master the craft of something that is very prevalent today called digital interviews or MMIs, multiple mini interviews online. All of this, as I mentioned, is going to be crucial for preparing for your supplementary applications for this upcoming year. And we are here to support and give you a little bit of an introduction to that in today's session. So let's get started. First of all, there's an illusion that's out there. Everybody believes that the top grade achieving students, the top ones in your class, are going to be the ones going to the top universities. Those who are with less than perfect scores will always struggle. Or is that the case? Well, actually looking into our admissions history across multiple universities, again, in the United States as well as Canada, we time and again see that it's not the ones who have the best scores that get into the most competitive programs. Yes, grades are very important. We are consistently looking for people who are getting over 95% for the most competitive schools, perhaps a little bit different for some others here and there, but it's not always about the grades. Oftentimes, the grade is a starting line. That's your ticket to submit your application and to be considered. But what are they looking on top of that? They are looking for individuals who have showed leadership or showed potential for leadership. And if they had any kind of issues, did they show initiative to overcome the challenges? Did they take initiative to solve a problem that they came across with? right? They're also looking for resilience in this time and age where everybody is going through challenges and big changes coming through in our lives, whether we like it or not. And we're really looking for people who are very much self-aware of where they are, where they want to get to, what their weaknesses are, and what they can actually improve on. Last but not least, universities are not looking for the smartest people. They are looking for community members who are going to build up their communities. So they're looking for your community contribution. What have you done for your communities coming before university? And once you come into our universities through our applications, what can you contribute? How can you contribute to this already existing community that you will call home for the next 4 years? So once more, it's not just about the grades. We have seen students with less than perfect scores ace their admissions through coming up with strong statements of purpose, coming up with a very strong sets of answers for your interviews. And we have seen students with perfect scores, 98, 99%, come up with very mid-level responses to these statements and interviews and thus missing out their spots. Once more, it's not just about the grades, it's just a starting point. And what we're sharing right now is consistent throughout all universities as well. So Rotman School of Commerce, Sauder School of Business, Ivey School of Business, and even the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Waterloo and Schulich School of Business. A lot of these schools are very competitive and they have competitive programs that are very difficult to get into. On top of your regular application, as I've mentioned, they have supplementary application components on top of that. Personal profiles, admissions information form, you can call it whatever it is, but they're always looking for something extra, something more than just the grades that they want from successful candidates. Some of the common theme that we see here would be leadership potential, leadership, 50% leadership, and so on and so forth. We can definitely see that we want you to take initiative. We want to see cases where you have demonstrated leadership, and that would be a good indicator of how you're going to be within this school. And they're also looking for your voice, your engagement, your passion, and your overall goals that you want to achieve. And this has to be very explicit. They want you to take initiative. They want you to take an active role in your learning, and they want you to bring something to the table as much as they are going to teach you in the university settings. So all of this is going to be embedded in the supplementary application that you're going to prepare. It's going to be in your resumes, it's going to be in your statements of purpose, and it's definitely going to be in your interview questions. And that's why we are here today, to help you prepare for those components, regardless of what school you are going to be applying for. So again, why smart students still struggle even though they have good grades? It's the lack of reflection. They know what they did, but they don't know why that mattered to them. And they're working for perfection. They're trying to come up with the most perfect essay without trying to really think about what's authentic to yourself. What was your experience? We want to hear your story, not something that was crafted verbally perfect, not something that was generated by AI. We want to hear from you. We also want you to be in a practice environment where you hone these skills ahead of time, coming before the university applications. We want you to practice giving your statements. We want you to practice giving your interview responses, because we want to see how prepared you are and how serious you are coming to these universities as well. And last but not least, we're looking for something that is unique, something that is going to be uniquely yours, and something that we are going to remember as university admissions experts. We don't want some generic story that we have heard everywhere. That's why ChatGPT really doesn't help you in the end, because all it can do is take information from online, which is overused. We want you to think about what you have gone through and what you can bring to the table. And as I've mentioned, the very first step of achieving that goal is to come up with a very strong resume outlining what you have done and what you have achieved so far. So for that, I'm going to pass it over to our expert, Joanne, on explaining what resumes are and how it could be crafted.
Thanks very much, Kay. So first, let us dive into the key part of your university applications, which is your resume. Next slide, please. So let's start with something called a T-shaped student profile.